Hey there, so today we have another review, and this is beer courtesy of Scott, Vintage Beer Enthusiast, and this is Crème de la Crème from the Bruery. Bourbon Barrel Aged Blonde Stout, dulce de leche, salt, vanilla beans, 11-1, and this is in collaboration with the Donuttery, so nice. Let's dig into the guy. I haven't had a Blonde Stout in a minute. Nice call in there. What is that from? Dulce de leche, ooh. So, this poured quite aggressively, huh? I mean, I poured it very aggressively, but beer has this really nice kind of deep amber, oh, not deep amber, like medium amber color. Nice big hand on that, fluffy white. Let's get him out. I mean, I already just took a sip, but it's like toffee, it's vanilla. A little bit of like kind of this butterscotch kind of sweetness. Let's dig into it. Let's see what I'm showing you. Quite nice. Really nice balance for sort of blonde stout, golden stout, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, they really do the style great. Wow. Alcohol is really nice. 11.1, it's nicely hidden. The beer's not overly sweet and cloying. Dulce de leche is not overly intense. It's got this really nice kind of brown sugared. Again, dulce de leche is like that kind of like I'm familiar with it having visited Argentina, but it's like sort of their version of like peanut butter. It's a kind of like it's caramelized milk and sugar product. Is what? Yeah, a sweet of milk. So it's just like this kind of like, I mean, it's literally putting caramel syrup on your bread, right? But it's got a really nice thick consistency to it. It's almost like honey, and it's spreadable. Really delicious stuff, and it's got this nice kind of complex kind of caramel flavor, at least in the beer. So the beer bourbon barrel aged too, wow. So it's not noticeably super bourbon barrel forward, but the barrel is really well integrated into the beer. A nice kind of vanilla smack up front. All those kind of caramel flavors play well with that vanilla bourbon sweetness. I guess accentuating the bourbon character with more vanilla and more confectionery kind of tones. With that, it is not actually too pastry-ish of a beer. I mean, it tastes pastry-ish, but I think a lot of beers end up like a little bit stickily cloying and they bounce out, or some do. Angry Chair does that. It's very big up front, it balances out. This is more of a leaner version. The bourbon character cleans it up really nicely. Wow. Salt, that's maybe part of it too. I think the salt is helping the beer sort of like have this like round and bounce to it. So it's got a really nice kind of rich malty tone, but the malt is not too heavy. It's still blonde beer, right? So it's actually, the base is probably just a Imperial Golden Ale, right? It's really not that malt forward. I don't get the German characteristics. We're leaning all towards like Maillard, rich. It's allowing the dulce de leche to play that kind of like sweet candy flavor along with the bourbon sweetness, along with the vanilla, and the salt cleans it up a little bit nicely. I wouldn't have guessed that there was salt in here blindly, but I guess that's why it's so crisp and clean. And I'm talking about crisp and clean for a pastry beer at 11%, right? That's a huge compliment to the beer. So yeah, absolutely killer, yeah. And maybe the head. I think the head is issue. Soap might have been an issue for me, so I think I probably did that by accident. But beer is absolutely fantastic. This is super tasty stuff. I'd argue and have a hard time finding a rich blonde beer, which with so much rich kind of like pastry flavors. Yeah, killer job. I mean, I think it's just like executes it so well, and as we drink more, it drinks more like beer, right? In the end, like we're looking for beer. Some people look for straight pastry, but the pastry's there, but the beer's there also, and just all around. Like I can't think of many of the flavors that like dominate the beer. The dulce de leche is in there. It doesn't dominate bourbon character. Doesn't dominate vanilla. Nope. Salt. Nope. Base beer doesn't really dominate either. Everything's just sitting at a pretty place. It's sitting at like a nice kind of like medium, kind of like 5 to 7 out of 10, and just like harmonizing really perfectly. So this for me gets a solid 90. 97. That is creme de la creme. Just absolutely fantastic. Again, I just like where the flavors sit. For big beer, it's showy, but does it all just so elegantly. Thank you so much, Scott. This was fantastic. Cheers later.